After I graduated from the Australian Ballet School, I accepted a contract with Hong Kong Ballet. A bit of a culture shock moving to Asia I had just turned 19, but an incredible opportunity. I loved my 9.5 years in that company. Started off as a quarter ballet dancer and moved all the way to senior soloist. I got to do quite a few principal roles. We did incredible ballets, even more incredible tours of the world. So a really fantastic time in my career. After that 9.5 years, I thought, it's time to maybe see the rest of the dance world, experience a second company, and move to English National Ballet in London. So a very different time in my career, a very different company. So Hong Kong Ballet was quite small, where I was, in the sort of seniority. Moving to English National Ballet, a much larger company. I was a bit of a lower ranking, and different in how the sort of year was approached. We did, again, lots of tours with English National Ballet, but more of the UK. But what I loved about my time there was the sense of family that company has. You do so many shows a year. Your body doesn't always handle it that well, but there's always support from the other dancers to, help you out if you needed a rest for a show. So that sense of being in it together was what I really loved about being in that company. Highlights. So probably when I was in Hong Kong Ballet, the highlight would have been all the George Balanchine works that we did. I was lucky enough to do principal roles in all of them. I think my sort of jazzy sort of dance training really helped me sort of be able to take on that Balanchine style. And my favorite would have been doing the lead pas de deux girl in Rubies. So I was actually not cast for it, but was picked from the Balanchine woman that came to put the ballet on, who's actually Sandy Jennings. She was in Melbourne recently working with the Australian Ballet. So that was just my absolute highlight. Loved the rehearsals, loved the performance, and still look back at the videos and photos and just have the best memories. And then probably my highlight in London, working with English National Ballet, would have been dancing for the Queen of England at Buckingham Palace. So we did the ballroom scene of Romeo and Juliet in the ballroom of Buckingham Palace with about 450 guests. And it's probably one of the most nervous I've ever been. We had quite long dresses, and I was like, please do not let me fall over in front of the Queen. I didn't, lucky, but it was really, really amazing experience. And we did get to meet her afterwards. Yes, I think it always is a hard decision, but one that we do have to make at some stage. I have probably been thinking about it on and off for a couple of years. I knew that I didn't want to sort of stay in dance too long, that I didn't have the energy to change careers. I knew I wanted to teach Pilates. I didn't have very many injuries as a dancer. I did have like a labral hip tear, which was suggested to have surgery, but I managed to fix it with Pilates. So when I did that, I avoided probably a year or even longer off. I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to help, not just dancers, but just the regular lifestyle of people, to be able to get over injuries or get over soreness or conditions that they had and be able to live like a fulfilling and healthy life. So I knew what I wanted to do. Being able to sort of do that planning of my transition made it not stressful at all. And I feel like I had purpose. I think I was always a bit worried about leaving ballet and not having, you know, a sense of like accomplishment throughout the day. What I loved about being a dancer is, you know, one day, okay, I'm going to get this solo perfect, or I'm going to nail this step that I've been working on. And I get to do something similar now in my Pilates career. I get to make sure that I program really well for my clients to, you know, tick off their postural challenges or their goals. But then I also get to do that for myself. So I might be working on an exercise that is really challenging for me, and I get to sort of work through the steps to be able to achieve that exercise. So I'm still with my daily sense of achievement that I loved having as a dancer. I had been teaching Pilates for maybe just over a year in London, and I knew it was either now or never to make the move. So again, I thought forward and got in touch with some friends that knew about the Pilates world in Melbourne, and asked, or, you know, what are some good studios? Who should I get in touch with? And Katrina Edwards was suggested. So I came back to Australia for a little bit of a holiday 6 months before I decided to come back, and met with Katrina. We hit it off instantly. I knew that I was going to be in, you know, a new environment that would be very supportive, and have like a really great career path. I could see the steps where I could move next. So yeah, was all ready to go. Moved back to Australia, started teaching for Aligned for Life Pilates. I bridged my qualification from my UK one to the diploma with National Pilates Training. And as soon as I had that, Katrina asked me, would I like to be a faculty educator for MPT, which I jumped at. A part of my job that I really, really enjoy, being able to work with students that would like to make Pilates their new career, and being able to guide them from, you know, the basic foundations, all the way to being able to, you know, program for conditions. It's just extremely rewarding and so amazing to see them go from, you know, day one to graduation, to maybe seeing them even a few months or years later with them, with their own studios and their own client bases. So it's a really, really lovely part of my job. And I did add to my career this year. I opened my own Pilates studio, Aligned for Life Pilates Carlton, where I am now, and just love it. Love having, you know, my own space. I've got a fantastic staff that have all done our National Pilates training course over the years. And just, again, being able to have clients in here that I work with week to week and helping them to achieve their own personal goals. I guess I never thought, probably like many dancers, I never thought that I would love something as much as I loved ballet and would be as driven as I was in my ballet career. But Pilates and teaching Pilates has just been an absolute dream come true. I love it just as much as doing ballet. So I feel extremely thankful and grateful that I did find a second career that I enjoy so much. So it's definitely possible.